Skinny people are douchebags. You know, just straight out, you know. They think they're better than you. You know, just forget them, okay?
Fuck you.
Exactly. Skinny people are just horrible people. Whereas, you know, if you're sitting around with a skinny person, they'll be like, oh, this is too much, or oh, I eat so much, but I don't gain any weight. You know, I'm just like, fuck you, okay? You know, fat people.
Hi.
You know, fat people on the other hand. You know, they're some of the nicest people. Sure, they eat a lot, and, you know, occasionally they're a little bit upset about their weight thing, but when you catch them at the right time, it's the funniest thing ever.
Talk about fat people being nice.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
I'm sunflower first.
But really,
fat people.
flowers first.
Fat people, you know, they generally are pretty nice, except, you know,
Except for like
you find the occasional one, you know, who's just this complete douchebag, you know, and. You know, whether you like it or not, they're funny as hell, but they're just mean. And you can't really stand being around them. They're funny. So you want to hear what they're going to say next, which is why you give them a recorder in the first place. Because, you know, you never know when they're just going to go off on some random rant, you know, and, you know, push someone off a ledge, strangle somebody, you know. You never know what they're going to do. Whereas with skinny people,
every day.
with skinny people, you always know what you're going to get. You know, there's always, oh, I have a high metabolism. You know, you know, it's always this, oh, I eat so much. Oh, I'm so fat. No, you're not. Okay, you know, shut up. Okay, it's high metabolism. Like, oh, I don't work out at all, and yet I still have like this, like, you know, I have no muscle on me, no fat, anything. You know, that's why I hate skinny people. Skinny people are douchebags. They should be killed, you know. I still have, you know, like 3 more minutes on this, so I'm just going to keep going on this. Speaking of, you know, what really separates skinny and fat people is how much food they really eat. That really is the separate, well, that and how lazy they are. Because, let's face it, most fat people are just the laziest people you will meet. I mean, it's really hard to believe, but yes, it's a combination of food and, you know, just being plain old lazy. I am the laziest person in the world.
And the fattest.
And I'm really, you know, I'm fine with being lazy. You know, lazy is not a problem. In fact, I find ways to work that into my daily schedule on a regular basis. You know, but like when it comes to schoolwork, I will wait up until the teacher asks for the homework to start it. You know, and I still manage to make, you know, pretty much A's and B's in my class. Sure, there's the occasional C, but that's just because I get a little overconfident and wait until after the teacher picks it up. I think in general, you know, fat people and skinny people aren't that different. Because, you know, they could both be douchebags. They could both be really funny. I mean, look at Jim Carrey. The guy's skinny, but, you know, he's still pretty funny. I mean, not on a regular basis, but, you know, still can get a few laughs now and then, you know. What's it, the animal movie that he did, Ace Ventura. You know, that was sort of funny, I guess.
Ace Ventura 3 is awesome.
You know, but, you know, I think in general, if you find 2 people, you know, fat and skinny, you're going to want to hang out well, actually, in general, you can hang out with both of them because, like, in the case of, like, my friend Clay and the other one's name, Nathan, they're both the funniest people I've ever met, but in different ways. See, Clay just tells these outrageous stories that are just so funny, you can't actually believe any of them. Whereas with Nathan, you know, it's like the witty, sarcastic comments, you know, it's just really funny. So I think, in general, the only really bad fat person would be Rachel.